Hi everyone, this is Liam Morlath. I'm here today in my home with my neighbors here who have been nice enough to be the audience for my industry speech. Here are my neighbors. Alright. What if I told you that Forbes' 2012 Most Influential Athlete is now currently unemployed in 2013? And what if I told you that it is not because this player was injured or retired, but simply because he just really isn't that good? Well, the player that I'm talking about is former NFL quarterback Tim Tebow. Now, Tim was a Heisman Trophy winner and a star quarterback at the University of Florida just a few short years ago. However, things never really panned out for Tim in the NFL. So how does he still have such an influential hold on America? The answer is social media. Now, Tim built up this image in college as an all-around good guy. He was the Christian virgin who also happened to be a very good athlete. So many people, in fact, have gravitated to him that he now has over 2.4 million followers on Twitter. That's good for fourth among all NFL players. And he's not even on a team. Now, Tim Tebow's story is just one example of how social media has such a big impact on the sports industry. Him, his fellow players, organizations, and even social media outlets are now able to reach fans in a whole new way thanks to social media. Today, I'm going to discuss how social media has really changed the landscape of sports altogether. For those of you who are sports fans, you may learn new ways to follow your teams and players and learn new information about them. For those of you who don't really take a caring to sports, you'll learn about how a multi-billion-dollar industry takes advantage and utilizes social media towards their advantage. And for those of you who are looking to go into other entertainment fields, you can maybe be able to use this information to help you out in your own career. As someone who considers themselves a lifelong diehard sports fan, I really love the direction that social media is bringing the sports industry. And as someone who looks forward to creating their career in sports, I know that it'll really dictate the direction of the industry as the years come forward. One way that social media really impacts the sports industry is by being able to reach the masses almost instantaneously. The other way that social media enhances the sports industry is by allowing the release of interactive content that really makes the fan feel more involved in the whole experience. Lastly, they combine all of the benefits of social media into one package to create a ubiquitous fan experience for all those who love sports. So, the first way that social media really enhances the sports industry is allowing them to reach so many people in such a short period of time. All of these social media networks are made up of a huge demographic of people who are connected to just these few sites. According to statisticbrain.com, 58% of all people use at least one type of social media network. This gives the industry access and exposure to millions and millions of people across the world. Also, these masses of people that are connected to these networks, for the most part, are constantly checking these sites constantly throughout their day. Also, many who use these sites on their smartphones and other devices have them programmed to alert them whenever their favorite players or teams release new information or break news. One example of how social media brings such a large amount of people together for one period of time would be going back to our good friend Tim Tebow. Back in 2012, in the NFL playoffs, Tim threw an 80-yard touchdown pass to beat the Pittsburgh Steelers. And just shortly after this play occurred, Twitter blew up. Twitter was receiving over 9,420 Tebow-related tweets per second. That's per second. It's truly amazing to see how many people come together over social media over just one tiny event. Also, social media has led to innovation in the sports industry in the way of getting information out faster than ever. Instead of fans having to wait for to see that big play on the nightly broadcast or highlight show, networks can post or tweet out a video of that play so that the fan can instantly see what happened. No longer do fans have to be sitting in front of their television or in front of their computer to know what's going on in the world of sports. So not only has social media become the fastest way to reach the largest number of people, but it has also become the most interactive form of communication in the sports industry. Social media has allowed the sports industry to blossom by providing interactive content that makes the fan feel more connected to the experience than ever before. One way in which it does this is through live polls and comments. Take sports media, for example. During a live broadcast, they can release polls or ask questions or ask for comments. And they can include hashtags in these questions in which people or fans watching the live broadcast or the show respond with the according hashtag. And this allows the broadcasters to filter through all of the tweets that they can find on these sites and look for that exact hashtag and take information and build a poll and release information or find comments and take their favorite comments and post them live on TV. So it gives fans the ability to really impact the broadcast that they're viewing live on television. It makes them feel part of the experience. It makes them feel important. These unique features really all come together to solidify that fan experience and make them feel more as one with the sports industry. Another big feature that's new from social media that plays a big part is second screen viewing. Now, according to an infographic by sports medicine company KT Tape, which I found on Mashable.com, 83% of fans check social media sites while watching the game on TV. This is very big, let's say, for sports writers. Now, instead of having to watch an entire game and take notes on their information and then write an article on that game afterward, they can now report on the game live in real time. If a player gets hurt, for instance, they can update the fan on the severity of the injury and how long the player will be out. Or they can insert their own opinion on the game. So it really makes the experience a here and now thing rather than here and then later. It also gives fans the ability to see what other athletes who are watching that game, or other celebrities even, and find out their opinions on the same game that they're watching. It really unifies the masses. It brings them together and makes it feel as though they're watching a game together instead of all over the country or all over the world. The largest interactive part of social media, I believe, would be personal tweets from athletes. This really gives fans a perspective into the lives of their favorite athletes. It also, on the other hand, gives athletes a chance to be heard and express themselves without the traditional outlets of the media. This all leads to a great player-fan experience and relationship that's never really existed before. One example of this was Colin Kaepernick, quarterback of the San Francisco 49ers, who earlier this year received negative feedback and criticism on Twitter. Kaepernick acknowledged this criticism by favoriting these negative tweets, and then responded to them on Instagram, another social media outlet, with a picture and an inspirational quote that kind of informed his fans that negative feedback is what fuels him, and he takes what they have to say, values it, and puts it into his effort on the field. This really shows the effect that fans and players can have on one another. So, by taking advantage of all of social media's benefits, sports have been fully ingrained into the everyday lives of their fans. By adding the all of the benefits of social media together, it really creates a ubiquitous fan experience. Everywhere you look, there's sports. You can't avoid it these days, and social media is a big reason for that. Thanks to all of the innovations that social media has led to, fans have nearly infinite amount of information and content at their fingertips at all times, thanks to mainly their smartphones or iPad or tablet or what have you. And instead of feeling like someone on the outside looking in, they feel more a part of the experience. They feel like they're there with the team rather than just watching the team. And again, second screen viewing allows the fan to be completely consumed by an event from all angles. To conclude, I want to say that a rise in social media, to me, is the greatest thing that happened to sports since the invention of live television. I spoke about how social media allows the sports industry to reach the masses almost instantaneously. I also touched on how it creates an interactive fan experience that makes the fan feel included like never before, and about how it combines all of these positive qualities and features of social media to create an omnipresent feeling of sports being everywhere throughout our everyday lives. If you're a sports fan, you have access to the information you want at all times. I hope that it is now clear how advances in social media have really impacted the sports industry. And I think that it's very important that sports are no longer just something that you watch at night or get caught up on in the morning by reading the paper or viewing your favorite websites. It's now an everyday part of our lives. And as sport fans, we're always connected and always in the game. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed. This was Liam Morlath, Sports Marketing and Media major at Full Sail University. Thank you. And I'm just gonna pan around my audience one more time.